Welcome, everybody. This is our all-team call on Monday, July 29th. And many of us on this call just got back from a rockin' fantastic weekend in Leavenworth, Washington for our whatever annual Seattle Summit Boot Camp. And we are just jazzed and excited from some amazing trainings. So those of us that were there can't wait to share just a nugget or two. There was so much, but we're going to really try to limit it to no more than a minute each. But we're going to share just something that really has stood out to us since we've gotten back, what we learned, and how it's going to impact our business going forward. So Sue has a time crunch here. I'm going to let her go first because she may have to jump off the call. So Sue, let's hear your nugget or two in 1 minute.
It's going to be really hard, but all I can say is it was just so much fun. It's just a wonderful community group of people that you've got to get there next year. It was just the best. I learned so much. I think the biggest thing I got out of it is I got re-energized even more and got some ideas of how to keep my energy up so that if my energy is at a higher level, I will attract more people to my business. Some of the things I wrote down and put an asterisk next to that, Juice Plus is a concert of nutrition, which is better than only a single nutrient. I really liked that we're doing noble work and we're doing it because it's the right thing to do. Now, the other thing I really liked is I'm being the change I want to see on the planet. So that was kind of the theme that I thought was important, and that leadership is influence. And the other thing I really liked how Ellie Schneider started her talk with a simple, and then they started playing Queen, We Will Rock You. And the whole point of it was that she started it, you know, the stamp, stamp, clamp, stamp, stamp, clap. And everyone joined in right away. And she said, that's what we need to do in our business. We need to be simple and duplicatable, and people can join in.
Good job just picking one thing, Sue.
Awesome. You know I can't pick one thing.
I know, I can't either. So what's going to change? Tell me one thing that's going to change for you going forward on how you do your business.
My energy. I'm going to go at it with more energy and project myself at a higher level of energy vibration. One thing.
Love it, love it. All right. So I see a few more people have joined us. Welcome, Pamela. Welcome, Dawn. Did I miss anybody else that's just joined us? I think we've welcomed everyone. Awesome. Okay, let's jump right in. We're trying to get this done in half an hour. So who wants to share next? Or shall I call? Dawn, go ahead. You got 1 minute, Dawn.
Okay, it won't take that long. I'm trying to remember the redhead lady was next to last.
Nikki Cotton?
Huh?
Nikki Cotton?
No, redhead.
Sandy, I think.
Man, she laid it out. I was so impressed. She hit every piece of the issue with dilated and I would say concentrated focus on the parts that were really most important, and that really got my attention. In fact, my whole table was watching with that. Wow.
So for the people that weren't there, can you explain what she pointed out was the main thing? Because they want to learn from you.
It broke it down to, focus for me is not to leave yourself out there thinking you can't do something if you don't try. And if you make a commitment to do something, then make a commitment and do it. And don't let somebody else tell you can't do it. You have to have your own self-confidence, and how it works is when you actually apply yourself and see you get a victory in something, and then it can become bigger and bigger. But you have to be focused. You got to be committed to it.
Okay, and how's that going to change what you do from now on?
Well, I'm in process of doing that right now. I just signed up a new team member tonight.
Woohoo! you. Way to go, Don. Awesome.
In my head, I said, okay, I'm gonna do this.
Mindset.
Trying to get her to get on this, but she's a caregiver, and she's with a hospice person right now, so she wasn't able to get off. But she's anxious to meet you.
Cool. Well, I've recorded this call, so you can send her that recording. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, I'm just going to go through so it goes faster. Danielle, I see you sitting next to Dawn on my screen. You want to share? This was your first boot camp. I can't wait to hear what you thought.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. It was my first one. I've been to 2 conferences though, and what I really appreciated about it was that it really pertained to our region. I feel like on the West Coast we do things a little differently than they do on the East Coast and other areas, and so it was just, it felt like it was more like it was speaking directly to me rather than to a huge audience, which I mean, literally it is, the conference is speaking to a huge audience, but I really enjoyed listening to Mr. and Mrs. Cotton. They were really inspirational. And it's so funny because it's really hard, like now thinking about like exactly what people said that made me feel so inspired that I came home thinking, you know, wow, I'm really pumped up. Like, this is really exciting. Like, I'm going to do a lot of things this week and coming up. So, anyway,
was there anything in particular that the Cotton said that really resonated with you that you could share with everybody so they can kind of learn from you?
You know, it's funny because I feel like I was so into what they were talking about, I took pretty lousy notes. One of the things Chris Cotton said was, no one deserves the love more than you do. And I thought, that's so true, because he was talking about giving yourself the attention, I believe. I'm trying to remember exactly what he said, but this was the quote that he said. And I guess being kind to ourselves is probably what he was trying to say. That it was really, really, I don't know, all of it was great. And I loved hearing from Lisa Pebble, or is it, what's her name?
Pebble. Lisa Pebble. Yes.
Lisa Pebble. Yeah, about all, you know, all the innovations and like how carefully the quality control, you know, everything is quality controlled, like an insane amount. And so it was all very interesting.
Nice.
Sorry.
That's great. I know. Okay, how about Marlon? Can you talk, girl?
Yes, hi. I've been a little distracted. So the thing that keeps sticking with me, besides everything was amazing, and there were so many great nuggets and speakers, and it was so much fun. I think that hearing Lisa Pebble say that instead of saying vine ripened, because I do say that we say that the produce we use in Juice Plus is harvested at the peak of ripeness, is because it's important to me to say things properly and to describe things, you know, exactly the way they're done and be correct about things. So that probably was a really big thing for me, because that's what I'm going to start saying now. So
awesome.
Not everything's grown on a vine. So
yes, that was interesting.
Ripeness, yes.
Harvested at the peak of ripeness. Perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
I love it.
Just sometimes those little things are what stick with you, you know, if you can come away with just little things. Okay, yeah. Tammy, 1 minute. What was your big takeaway, and how's it going to change your business?
So this one was my 10th consecutive boot camp. I can't even wrap my head around that. So this one for me was all about belief. Like, it really hit me in belief. And so it's crazy because Danielle mentioned Lisa Pebble, and then Marlon had talked about harvesting things at the peak of ripeness so that they have the highest nutrient content. And I just loved that. Just the quality, and I love that she confirmed that we're keeping a very narrow product line. For me, that's really important, that we just keep the number one thing. And she actually said, you know, our trio and our mega is the number one thing, and it's about quality, and everything that we do is for that. And so that just filled me up. The second thing was like a little thing that I've noticed that I really love. And I noticed it when Reagan Dean did it first. When people get to the front of the stage and they actually take the time to go through their front line, I don't know what that is, but that jazzes me. And I think it's because, it comes down to belief. And Gretchen Comstock did that. She said, I have all these sisters and brothers, and I shared with every one of them, and only one joined me in the business. And out of all my high school friends that I shared with, only one, joined the business. And when Jen came on this, she said, from everybody at her church, she just had somebody who joined her business. And I think that when we think we could join the gym, we're going to get like 100 customers and 1 million new reps. And it's like, you might go to your church and get one customer. And it's like, you don't need a huge front line. You may have a family member, and you might have somebody from the gym, and one might be your massage therapist. And these people are just random. And one of the things that she said before I finished was that she had a high school friend that she was getting together with. And she said, I'm sure she's heard what I've done. Of course she's heard, I'm sure, but I've never shared. And that really released a lot of guilt, because I still have a huge warm market, even after 11 years, of people that I have not shared with. And that made me feel really good that we wait to share with people when the timing is right. Sometimes we're not just out there blasting everybody. And she's 100 Club, and she still has lots of people that she hasn't shared with, and she's not feeling guilty over it. So I really let the guilt go on that we've got an amazing company, and it's all about the timing, right?
There you go. Awesome. Awesome. How about Miss Jane Otterly? Can you talk, girl?
Sorry, I was eating dinner, so I was just listening in. Okay, so this one for me was all about the energy and our culture. So, this morning I was looking through kind of comments from the speakers, and Gretchen Comstock, this amazing leader in our company, said this is the best boot camp she's ever been to. And I can't imagine how many she's gone to, right? But there is just such a beautiful energy about our Pacific Northwest Juice Plus team. And it like captivates everyone. And I just felt so proud of everything that we have done. And like, that is what we share with the world. I think Sandy kind of touched on it too. Like, the energy is so important. So like, already today, I've got one of my newer reps who hasn't done anything in a few months. She's getting 2 orders today, and I have, another person from there, and she's like, okay, I know exactly when I want to start. And random person saw the slide from our presentation that Gretchen did on just all the kids and how they're getting healthy. And now there's a new order from a girl I haven't talked to in 2 years. So I just feel like there's just such an energy that comes out that weekend. And it was just, everything worked just perfectly. So I was just really happy to be a part of it.
Is it going to change anything the way you do things from here on out? Any little nugget that's going to change the way you do your business?
I think it's just, I'm just like Sandy was saying, like, you just got to be, you, and you can achieve everything. You can't care about what other people think. And then I think there's just such a pride that comes out that, like, I'm just going to let go of the fear of what people are going to think. Right.
Nice.
And just
Nice.
go forward from there. So
that's what events do. They just build belief. Yep. Right. I love it. Okay. How about Miss Bobby?
Okay. I thought Gretchen was phenomenal as well. I loved the exercise where we did the 10 questions and then passed it around the room. I believe that was her that did that. And then, you just kept passing it. And then when you went through them, you just realized that, so many people think the same way that you do. They have the same kind of fears and everything. So it kind of lessened that feeling in myself that I kind of stand alone in my own fears and worries of like, what's somebody going to think or whatever. And it gave me such a good perspective that, I'm no different than anybody else. And we're all kind of the same. And that was just a big deal. And then there was just one other little quick thing that Sandy was sharing, that we never get a desire in our heart that is not attainable. We are able if we think it. And that, I mean, I just got goosebumps now thinking about it, because sometimes when I think of goals and big goals, I think it's, you know, it's so big that it's really not capable, capable of it. But it's like, you know, if you just trust that if you can think it, it can happen. And it just like turned the page for me.
Nice. Nice. Keep thinking it, girl. Keep thinking
Yep.
it. How about Miss Jennifer Tannen?
Hey, I'm here. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so I had two, but of course Jane stole mine about energy. And team culture. So I'm gonna pick my other one. So Gretchen Comstock had some great verbiage. And so we're gonna use her verbiage, one of which we're gonna use some about Children's Health Study to build to the events that we're doing, the children's events that we're doing this next 2 months. And then her other verbiage about, I'm here in Leavenworth at this Dream Big Act Now conference. And basically she's texting kind of a chicken list person, or someone who's told her no, or someone that, she doesn't think is going to be on her team, or whatever the reason is. But it's basically just getting this person to be involved on some level and asking them to because she respects them so much for whatever reason. Maybe they're an influencer, maybe they're a big business builder, whatever. She's going to ask them to sit down and have a conversation and brainstorm, letting her pick her brain on ways that she can enroll more families in the Healthy Starts for Families. Or I was thinking anything like, I want to build and enroll more customers in Shred 10. I want to, whatever your goal is, getting this person to listen to you from a place of you're picking their brain on their expertise instead of trying to ask them into your business. And so I've already sent out a couple of those texts using that verbiage. So we'll see what happens.
Awesome. You just stole mine. Yeah, she is the verbiage queen and you are the verbiage queen. So I can see why that stood out to you. Fabulous. Okay. Olivia, give us your aha moments.
All right. Sorry. I'm at work. Well, I'm somewhere. Okay. So my takeaway, oh geez, I don't know. I missed half of one day, so that was kind of lame. So I have actually no idea what happened the first day. I wasn't filled in on that, so I can't comment on that. But I did really enjoy, was it Gretchen Comstock? Is that who that person is?
Yeah.
I liked how she was sharing and really kind of connecting that, she has so many different avenues that she really just still hasn't even touched on for people to share with. And that simple verbiage, although I still didn't get the whole, I got like half of what she said about sharing with, what was it? It was what Jen was just saying about at this Dream Big place, and I got like half of it because it's such good verbiage. So I walked away with some really good verbiage, and I think that was, and the cottons. I think, yeah, that was the tail end of, that was the first day. They're just really funny. So they had some practical advice and they're hilarious to watch. So
is anything going to change about the way you do business going forward from something you learned this weekend?
Well, I think that being a little bit more bold with reaching out and just having the right verbiage to do that. So you can kind of, you're really coming from a place of curiosity and gratitude instead of looking for something for, like, I don't really know how to articulate that, but I think there's better ways to get people intrigued with what you're doing without sharing too much and relying on feedback. Because I mean, that trick worked with me. I know Jen used it. So
there you go.
Just figuring out like the right verbiage for that. And I think that, I'm actually have an RD sign on my team. she was going to do it yesterday, but I think she's aiming for before the month's end because we're trying to get that summer surge. But
Awesome.
so you'll have another RD on the squad.
Fabulous. Yay. All right. So while I'm thinking about it, I want to give a special shout out to Jennifer, who was one of the presenters and just did an awesome training that most of us have seen already at the regional about the funnel. But you rocked it, Jen. I love it. Everything you said just kind of goes along with what everybody else said, and about the number of people you got to talk to. And in order to get the ones you want to come out the other end of the funnel, and that some of them have to kind of marinate in that funnel for a while before they'll come out the other end or just bail. So you did an awesome job. And Jane, emceeing, you just nailed it, girl. You're just a natural with a microphone. So those two, for those of you who weren't there, were featured on the stage. And I'm looking here, is there anybody else that was there that hasn't shared yet besides me? Have I missed anybody? All right, well, I will share just a couple things too, because everybody else has already shared everything I was going to say. The verbiage that Gretchen Comstock shared, not only for asking people to join the Children's Health Study, for following up with people when they order and letting them know that you are donating money to this thing in their name, and that we really want a year commitment from them, was excellent. I'm going to copy that. And I took pictures of her verbiage, so I tried to post it on our Facebook page from the event, and it didn't go through somehow, but I will do that. So she had 3. One, when you're attracting people to get the Children's Health Study. One, when you're signing them up, letting them know the commitment that they're actually part of a study. And the third one was from a raving fan who's been part of that study, and how you can, some verbiage that you can use to see if they can help you find other people, which is sort of a sneaky way to see if they want to join your team without actually saying so. So those 3 slides I took pictures of, and I will post them on our page because I love her verbiage on that. And just another fun little fact, Jay Martin, I just thought was better than he's been in a long time that I've heard him talk. He just really nailed it. And one of the things he told us that's just a fun fact is he says, our capsules have literally circled the world now. So if you think of the size of one capsule, he says it's 7/8 of an inch. And if you laid them end to end, they've gone all the way, the amount of sales that we have had as a company, it would circle the world 25,000 miles, all of those little capsules. So we've all been a part of that. And you can just pat yourself on the back for being part of that. That is huge, 7/8 of an inch, and it's gone all the way around the world. So let's do it 3 or 4 more times. And the other thing I love that Gretchen shared was about following up and team building. And she says she does something called intentional follow-up, which has several parts to it. But one of the things that she said that stuck with me is that when you get somebody on a connection call, your goal is after every call, the person that your prospect should feel good about you, they should feel good about the product, and they should feel good about themselves. So I'm going to write that down, and every time I do a connection call or a 3-way with any of you and your customers or your distributor prospects or product prospects, I'm going to have that in front of me, that I want that person to leave that call feeling good about themselves, about the product, and about me and the person that invited them on the call. That was really powerful to me. Don, did you want to say something real quick?
I want to add and be on your team to say thank you for our ladies who got up there and did their thing. And both of you guys, Jane and Jen, I was so proud. I was very proud, and I kept hey, they're on my team. They're on my team.
Yep. It's fun to see our team represented up there, and we had a bunch there. So just to sum it all up, those of you that weren't there, I know this is little snippets here and there. Talk to your sponsor who was there to get more information. And the only thing I could say is, next year, get it on your calendar. For years, I didn't go to boot camp because my son's birthday always hit that weekend. And I finally figured out that I needed to just celebrate his birthday a different day. and make this a priority. So usually it's the last weekend in July. Do what you can to get it on your calendar. Get there because it was a total blast. And if you ask me, that was the best ranch party we've had in years. It was so much fun that everybody was dancing. The DJ, Ryan, was incredible. The river float was great. It was just a total blast. So we missed those of you that weren't there. Let's all gather in Austin and have a fabulous time. So I'm going to stop the recording now. Thank you all for sharing who were there. And hang on, because I have just a couple announcements.
And just to throw in too, there was a lot of people there that brought their kids. So don't use your kids as an excuse, because there was a lot of kids there and your kids would have had a blast.
It's a great family